COVID's impact, often explained in numbers, but immeasurable when it comes to the loss of human life. For every death, a grieving family, many who never got to say goodbye in person. Now they seek for their loved ones to be remembered. Some are finding comfort in one man's mission.
We were sort of being bombarded with these statistics about how many people were getting sick and how many people were losing. I was looking for a way to process that.
At the beginning of the pandemic, Alex Goldstein felt lost.
People in this country have been lost to COVID, but if I can give you a face and a name and a story to go with that, you're going to relate to it.
So he set out to tell the stories of those who had died. From his Boston area home, he founded the Faces of COVID Twitter account. Is there one story that has moved you in a way maybe that others didn't exactly?
I remember one about a gentleman out in Longmeadow, Massachusetts, who died within hours of his wife, and he had liberated a concentration camp in Germany only to come home and build a life in the United States, and years later, lose his life to a virus. There's another story of just a regular guy named Stanley. I looked at this story and I saw my dad. Everything about this guy reminded me of my own father.
Faces of COVID posts are simple and to the point, featuring a picture and a name, an age and a hometown, often a link to a longer obit.
One of the things that I've been trying to do with Faces of COVID is give everybody a way to see themselves in what's happening right now, and then through that see their own responsibility.
The account now has more than 130,000 followers. What's your role in that community now? How do you see yourself?
I sort of see myself as somebody that's trying to make sure that history is accurate and that it centers the lived experiences of real people.
Recently, someone tweeted you, "Thank you for the opportunity to share my mom's story. What you're doing is helping so many families who have lost loved ones." What do you say back?
Don't thank me. Thank you for the courage to be willing to share this story at a time when you're just dealing with the worst possible pain. More than anything, my response to them is gratitude.
It's been my experience that covering stories of tragedy and death and struggle weighs on you. I just wonder how this has affected you.
I'm reading about 20 obituaries a day, and I read the submissions from families and the obituaries I source from news outlets. What I'm doing each day, which is a couple hours in the morning and a couple hours late at night, sort of pales in comparison to the pain of so many people across this country who are suffering.
Until it's over, Goldstein says he'll keep providing a place to honor the dead and a way for those grieving to move forward. Since February, more than 300,000 Americans have died. 74-year-old Linda Benson of Oklahoma City among them. Her children call her a sweet, sensitive, and encouraging person, writing, "They're forever grateful for her love." Linda died November 18th. Melinda Rolig, just 37 years old, of Clarksville, Indiana. She was an art and music teacher. Melinda died 1 month ago today. Some hit close to us here at home at the news. Our stage manager's father, George Bynes Jr., 73 years old. He served in Vietnam, lived in the Bronx. George died April the 12th. Cesar Morales, 89 years old, also from the Bronx, the father of one of our producers on this newscast. He writes, or she writes, "My dad was hilarious, charming, and loved to socialize." Cesar died April the 15th. The faces of COVID, lives lost, loved by those they left behind. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.